let's get to our week 12 hot read. So we are getting some hot reads here. I know that you and I both, our favorite pick of the week are the same picks that we gave out on the look ahead, but we want you, the listeners, to know that we're doubling down on it. So you're on the Vikings. I'm on the Vikings. I'm letting you have this one. Tell me why Minnesota is still your favorite hot read.
Look, my model makes this game closer to a pick 'em than the 2.5 that's in the market right now. I have so much respect for this Vikings team. Like I said earlier, they can run the ball, they can pass the ball. The defense has been putting it together. Also, as always, what do you want to do when you're playing the 49ers? You want to fade Kyle Shanahan as a favorite. He hasn't been great as a favorite, so I'm fading them in that spot. But I think the Vikings are a playoff team, and this 49ers secondary is still leaky. I don't expect them to be able to slow down Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen. So at plus 2.5, I think this is a positive expected value proposition.
Yeah, I agree. I let you have the Vikings on the look ahead. I'm letting you have them here, but I am backing them all the way. And I don't always back the Vikings, as you know, but short road dog trends, that favors Minnesota. The other thing too, the Niners pass defense has not been great this year. Justin Jefferson is going to light those guys up if they keep throwing it to him the way that they have been. And I can't believe that the Vikings go out and beat the Packers and look so good on offense. And this line actually like moves slightly away from them here. I think it's an overreaction to the Niners, so they beat the Jaguars. Like, it's Urban Meyer. Well, who cares? Like, what are we really making of that? Like, credit for not losing, but we're really going to push the line away from them for that. I don't buy it. So we're both on the Vikings. My other pick that I gave out on the look ahead last week was the Eagles. And same thing. I'm coming back. Eagles, I'm still seeing some 2.5, 2.5 favorite at New York Giants. I don't understand. The Eagles are clobbering teams right now, and they're running all over teams. They're averaging like 40-something rushes a game. The Giants are 30th in run defense on DVOA. They can't stop the run. And look, we talked about Saints Eagles this week, and you like the Saints because their run defense was so good. It was the wrong matchup for the Eagles. The Giants are the right matchup for the Eagles. Like, this is not the team you want to play if you can't be stopping the run right now. So I don't understand it at all. The Eagles are playing so well. Jalen Hurts is looking great right now. Giants will be on a short week. Can't stop the run. I love the Eagles on this spot.
Oh, yeah, I'm not mad at this at all. And the interesting thing about this matchup against the Saints is that the Saints were the right matchup. They're the first in rushing defense, and the Eagles still went out there and rushed for 242 yards. So what is the Giants going to do? So I definitely think this is a bad matchup for the Giants. I think the Eagles, they got to deal with the Eagles on a short week right after dealing with Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So this is a good spot for the Eagles.
All right. I know you were debating between a few other hot read options. What is your second hot read you're going to go with here?
I'm going to buy low on the Los Angeles Rams. Look, this side is sitting at +2. It's actually getting bet down to some 1.5s in the market, but I don't think the Packers should be favored in this spot. Like, when you look at some of the injuries that they're dealing with, Aaron Jones, Aaron Rodgers has a toe injury that he has to deal with. I think this team just needs to get to the bye. The Rams are coming off their bye week. Obviously, they got beat down by the 49ers, but I think this is the perfect spot to buy low on this team. Like we said before, the Packers defense, they've been overperforming. They lost a lot of their best players, and then somehow they were performing better. And I think what we saw today was more indicative about who they are. So I'm going with the Rams +2.
Yeah, I don't have a good read on that game yet, but it's a big game. It's certainly our big game of the week. That NFC, it's very interesting. You do not want to be, even if you win your division, you don't want to be the 4th division winner. Because if you are, like, look, the other teams either get the bye if you're number 1, or you play Minnesota or Philly or San Fran or New Orleans or Carolina. If you're the 4 seed, you're going to be playing either Arizona or the Rams in the first round. So if you're the Rams, you need this win to try to not fall out of the race with the Cardinals and basically lock into that 5 seed. And if you're the Bucks on Monday night, you're the Packers in this game, you don't want to be slipping down to that 4 seed. Otherwise, you have by far, like that's the marquee round one playoff game is whoever the NFC 5 seed is playing. So it's a big game. I'm excited for it. I don't have a great read on it, but I can't wait to watch. I am going back to the well that we've gone to often this season. I'm going to stay in Pennsylvania. I'm taking the Steelers on the road in another underdog spot. They're plus 4.5, +4 at some books against the Bengals. Look, Big Ben is 24-9 against the Bengals. In our Bet Lab system, he's 12-4 against the spread as far back as we have it for them. So I just think I can't believe that the Bengals are favored by so much. I know that there's a lot of injury question marks with the Steelers. The line is banged up. Najee Harris left with a concussion and came back in. I think he's fine. Minka Fitzpatrick is in COVID protocol, but he should be cleared by then. I don't know that TJ Watt will play. He probably won't, I would guess. And, the Steelers defense wasn't great tonight. We talked about how well the Chargers looked, but this is the Mike Tomlin thing. 67% cover rate as an underdog. Almost over half the games he's won straight up as a dog. Look what we saw tonight. They find a way. They make those wonky plays or tip drills or whatever. Big Ben actually kind of looked decent tonight. And I think the Bengals, it's an overreaction. They beat the Raiders, who have kind of fallen apart lately. And they haven't looked good at all out of the bye week. And the Bengals really were kind of close until pulling away late. So I don't know that I'd even make the Bengals favorite at all here. Certainly when you're getting over a field goal, I think this is insane. So it's another Steelers underdog spot. I got to grab them again.
Oh yeah, I definitely agree with that. When I look at the numbers in terms of power rankings, I pretty much have these two teams the same. So at 4.5, 5, I think you're getting some value on the Steelers. Like you said, I sat down and I watched this Bengals game, and it was actually 6-3, and it looked like the Raiders were about to get off the field, and the Raiders just had penalties. They just killed themselves with penalties. The Bengals scored a touchdown before the half, and they never really looked back. And a lot of it was penalties. A lot of it was the Raiders being undisciplined. But they actually put some pressure on Burrow. And I think that's where Burrow's going to struggle here because this offensive line isn't the best. So I agree with you on this one.
All right. Well, that's going to wrap up our Week 12 hot read, except that for you guys, just a little treat here. Because Raheem and I are not here on Friday, we're going to give you a little bonus hot read, a little bonus hot Thanksgiving read, some hot turkey, hot stuffing, mashed potatoes, and gravy. We're going to set you up for Thursday. Just quickly look at our Thursday games. All 6 teams playing on Thanksgiving lost today. So they are ready to get a win. Like, give me some teams ready to get back on the field. So I looked through our action labs here and found some trends. If you are the public and you like to just bet on favorites, Thanksgiving is the day for you to bet on football, because since 2005, that's what all these trends are. Favorites on Thanksgiving are 32-14 against the spread, covering 70% of the time. Road favorites playing the Lions are 10-2 against the spread and 12-0 straight up. They're covering by almost 10 points a game. So you like to be a road favorite against Detroit. If you are betting with the public, if a side is a favorite and getting at least 57% of the bets on the spread, 24-7, 77% cover rate. If you are a big favorite, favorites of a touchdown or more since 2005 on Thanksgiving, 16-3 against the spread. So they are not really getting upset there. Big covering by 8 points a game. Last one, night favorites, since we added that night game, 10-4 against the spread. So basically almost entirely across the board, bet your favorites on Thanksgiving, so say the spreads. So let's just quickly look at each of these 3 games. I got to admit, it's not the kindest schedule in the world. There's going to be a lot of tryptophan naps, I think, during some of these games. But, it's the Lions. We always get the Lions. We know the drill. So Bears at Lions in the opener. Bears -3.5 on the road in Detroit. What do you think about this one, Raheem?
I think you go Lions money line. When you look at this Bears team, they laid it all on the line against this Ravens team, and they struggled with the Ravens backup. And look, the Bears are banged up. Keem Hicks, Eddie Jackson, Khalil Mack, Allen Robinson. The injuries are just rampant. And one thing I can say about this Lions team is that they're playing hard for their coach. Now, obviously, you want to see the injury report. Is Goff playing? But even if Goff is playing, I don't know if there's that much of a downgrade. So I'm looking to take the line. I think this Lions are past. I don't necessarily want to be laying 3.5 with the Bears at this point in time.
Yeah, I don't necessarily want to lay 3.5 on the Bears, but I do want to play the Bears here. I'm going to wait and hope that I get back to a field goal. I played it before today out of field goal already. I do think that the line is going to move towards Detroit just as the Thanksgiving home underdog. You know, the injury news, Jared Goff maybe could be back. I think Boyle probably plays. The Lions looked awful for about 2.5 quarters today, then ripped off a long run and suddenly like, oh, they only lost by 3, but they only lost by 3 to a terrible looking Browns team. So I think they kind of hung around enough to maybe save some value here. If the Bears were healthy, I would put them more like 6-point favorites here. They're obviously not healthy. The defense isn't healthy. Justin Fields, I think, is probably a doubt to play this one. So we might start our Thanksgiving off with Andy Dalton and Tim Boyle. Hooray for us. The Lions lost another guard. So they're down 3 starting offensive linemen now. And the Bears too. The Bears have won 6 of 7 against the Lions, including 3 in a row in Detroit, 2 of those on Thanksgiving. So I have to trust the trends here. Again, road favorites on Thanksgiving in Detroit are 10-2 against the spread. The Detroit is okay if they're favored, but when the Lions aren't good, they're not good on Thanksgiving either. So I'm going to take Chicago. I will wait though and hope that I might get this back down to 3, depending on where the news goes. Your Cowboys at home, of course, as always. I'm sure we're going to get that red Salvation Army bucket. We're going to get Ezekiel Elliott jumping in, trying to eat a little cereal out of there. Cowboys at home, -7, 7.5, depending on your book, home against the Raiders, who are fading fast. Do you like your Cowboys here?
I think this line is a tad bit too high at 7.5. I really want to be looking towards the Raiders in this matchup, and I think a lot of it has to do with the Cowboys' injuries. I think you want to look at that injury report before you get into anything. Like, is Tyron Smith going to play? Is Amari Cooper going to play? It's just, there's just a lot of things that I'm concerned about with the Cowboys on a short week. Obviously, the Chiefs game was the start of a 3 games and 12-day span for the Cowboys. The Cowboys normally show up on Thanksgiving, but I think you're going to have a lot of the public on the Cowboys. And I think the market, I mean, obviously, they started off the season and with 6 straight covers, and I think now the market is starting to catch up with them. So I'm looking towards the Raiders here, even though they've been kind of in a tailspin. So I'm not really crazy about it, but if I got to choose a side, I'm going with the Raiders.
Yeah, I think of the 3, this is the one that I'm the most tepid about betting. If you are betting the Thanksgiving trends, you mostly like the Cowboys here. Now, I mentioned before that you bet the favorites on Thanksgiving. Almost always, the almost is because of the Cowboys. Dallas, as a Thanksgiving favorite, is only 5-7. All other teams in the NFL as favorites on Thanksgiving are 27-7 against the spread. So you got to be careful with Dallas. However, Dallas is a touchdown favorite. We said that 16-3 ATS. Also, the Raiders are coming off a 2-game home streak playing on Thursday night. Thanksgiving or not, that does not go well for teams usually. Teams on that spot on the short week, traveling 15-30 against the spread. The Raiders have lost 3 in a row coming out of the bye week. They've scored 16, 14, and 13. They're not scoring. So what I think we're going to see in this game is not a fun game. I don't think we're going to get much fun football on Thanksgiving, but I think that Dallas's defense actually is the reason why I'm going to take the Cowboys here. I would say to wait because you hope that maybe the line comes down a little bit. Maybe if you can't get that 7, try to wait for the 7. I don't think Amari Cooper is going to be out of COVID protocol. I don't think CeeDee Lamb is going to play and in the concussion protocol. So you might get some injury news that move it that way. But the public money is coming in on Dallas. But then again, if it does, that's another trend that Thanksgiving likes. So I'm a little leery. I lean Cowboys on this one, but it's definitely just playing the trends more than the injury news.
Oh yeah, this is a very tough game. And I think a lot of it with this one, you're gonna have to wait for the injury news before anything.
I think so. And a short week, obviously, too. So it should be, you might have to wait right up until kickoff. All right, last one, Thursday night, before you head out and do your Black Friday shopping, the Buffalo Bills are 4-point favorites on the road in New Orleans, taking on the Saints. Bills looking to bounce back, although I guess every team on Thanksgiving is looking to bounce back. So, Raheem, do you like Buffalo on the road here, or do you think New Orleans holds fort at home?
I think this is the ideal buy low spot for Buffalo. As much as I trashed their defense earlier, they were playing Frank Wright and this Colts offense, which, really has played well over the last month and a half since Carson Wentz, recovered from COVID. My biggest thing is that I think Trevor Siemian is a real issue for this Saints team. I thought we would see more Taysom Hill. I want to see the injury report because in this Eagles game, they were missing a ton of linemen. They were missing Alvin Kamara. So that's going to be big for this matchup. But I'm leaning Buffalo here.
Yeah, I like Buffalo here a lot, especially because the short week, we've missed Kamara now a couple games. You have to think he's unlikely to go on a short week again. And yeah, Buffalo, their defense looked really bad today. The Colts are pretty good, though. The Saints offense is not the Colts offense. And much as we can dump on my guy Carson Wentz, Trevor Siemian is not Carson Wentz. So we're seeing lately why Trevor Siemian is a journeyman and why he was the third string guy. So I feel like if I'm Buffalo, I love that I'm playing on Thanksgiving. I got embarrassed. It's a terrible game. I looked awful against Indianapolis. Get me back out on the field. Let me shut up those podcasters saying that we're frauds and overrated and we're not like this. Get me on the field. Let my defense be awesome again. And I think the Buffalo defense is going to make a statement here. So I think it's an under 46.5 seems pretty high for the Saints. Are a good defense. I don't think the Bills are going to necessarily put up a huge number, but I don't think the Saints score very much here. The Bills had number 1 DVOA defense, Saints number 6. The Bills, I think, we're getting a little value with them getting blown out today. So I think the line really, if you were a little more distance, I think you'd put the line closer to a touchdown than to a field goal. So yeah, I like Buffalo a lot here. I think they're the team that I feel best about among these Thanksgiving's teams. And again, we know that favorites in the night games have done well, and non-division matchup favorites do well on Thursdays too. So I think it's a good spot for Buffalo.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that's probably my strongest pick of the day, because I think the other ones, they can probably go either way. You never really want to lay 3.5 points with the Bears. The Cowboys are dealing with so many injuries. The Raiders are dealing with turmoil, but I think the Bills are better than what they showed against the Colts today. So
I think so. If you want to go crazy, you know how I love my favorites, Raheem. If you can find it at your book, if you can get the Bears out of 3 and the Cowboys out of 7, if you can find them there without the hook, throw those two together, throw in the Bills, a little pumpkin pie on top of your turkey main course. Give me the 3 favorite parlay on Thanksgiving. Favorites dominate. I'm just going to play the trends and see if I can get a little favorite action on Thanksgiving. What do you think?
I'm not mad at that at all. I think if I had to play something, I think I'm going to go with a Lions Cowboys teaser. I'm going to tease the Lions up through the key numbers of 7. I'm going to get that up to 9. And then I think the Cowboys bounce back and win this game. So that's my teaser.
That is not me and you in a nutshell. I don't know what is. You got the safe teaser, just getting a little bit of edge in here. I'm all in. Give me some money for Black Friday. I got some shopping to do. I need a new TV.